The World as It Is, by Ben Rhodes. Read for you by Mark Deakins. With a prologue read by the author. The clouds were building up now for the trade wind, and he looked ahead and saw a flight of wild ducks etching themselves against the sky over the water, then blurring, then etching again, and he knew no man was ever alone on the sea. Ernest Hemingway.
Prologue. For the final time, in a foreign country, as President of the United States of America, Barack Hussein Obama eased into his seat as a Secret Service agent shut the heavy door. "Let's go home," he said. Inside the presidential limousine, known as the Beast, the world outside is silent and kept at a distance by inches of bulletproof glass and armored metal. There is an eerie familiarity to riding in a motorcade, whether you're in an empty Saudi Arabian desert or a crowded street in Hanoi. The front two seats are always occupied by Secret Service agents who never say a word. While they sit there scanning the road ahead, you learn to talk as if they are not present. Obama glanced across at me and a light crept into his eyes. "Did you see Ben forgot his socks?" he said to Susan Rice, peeling back a wrapper and popping a piece of Nicorette into his mouth. He laughed in anticipation of his own words. "I mean, come on, man, your socks?" Each day that you travel abroad with the president, you place your suitcase outside your hotel room door and someone picks it up at a set time. This was part of the easy rhythm of travel that would soon disappear. I began to explain that when I'd shove my bag outside my door at 3 a.m, I thought I'd set aside a pair. He waved a hand at me. "I get it," he said. "It was a late night. I'm glad you guys had a good time while I was reading my APEC briefing book." I looked out the window at one last stretch of crowds. The streets of Lima were littered with onlookers set against a backdrop of rising, modern towers and older, more dilapidated buildings. They were watching, waving, and holding up smartphones. One more trickle of humanity among the millions of faces I had seen over the years through the window of a passing motorcade, straining for a glimpse of Barack Obama. Every now and then on these drives, Obama would glance out the window and offer a casual wave, and I'd see someone's face freeze in a shock of recognition. Sometimes, I would hold up my phone and take pictures of the crowds taking pictures of us. The only way to feel a connection with a mass of human beings whom I would never, could never, really know. Normally, Obama would take out his iPad and scroll through the news, or rejoin an endless game of Scrabble, and ask us how we thought he did in the just-concluded press conference. I sat opposite him, just as I had on trips to dozens of countries over the last 8 years. But, after the laughter at my socks faded away, he sat silently, chewing his Nicorette and staring out the window. This was the final trip, and despite the familiar rhythms, nothing about it felt normal. The whole world seemed to be passing us by. I glanced across at the presidential seal, affixed to the wood paneling next to the seat that Obama occupied. A seat that would be taken by Donald J. Trump in a couple of months. At our first stop, in Athens, we had planned to give a speech celebrating the resilience of democracy in its birthplace, with the Acropolis as the backdrop. As we'd sketched it out, we'd foreseen a defiant challenge to Russia and its revanchist leader, Vladimir Putin. Somehow, that setting no longer felt equal to America's moment. It was 2 weeks after the election of Donald Trump. We moved the speech indoors to an auditorium that could have been any place. We ended up touring the Acropolis instead, on a pristine, warm morning. From its perch up on a hill, the world was lovely and calm. In the clear blue sky and sweeping view of Athens, there was no hint of the financial crisis gripping Greece, the flow of refugees crossing its borders, or the uncertainty that those forces had unleashed in the world beyond. I trailed Obama as he wandered through the collection of ancient pillars and scaffolding and tributes to the gods, a monument to the origins of democracy and the ruins left behind by lost empires and expired beliefs. When I
Sample complete. Ready to continue?